we're talking about B2B and home building, you might think I'm in the wrong place. Well, when you're talking about home building, you've got multiple audiences, and like I'm going to show you during the presentation, the main thing is you've got B2B audiences and B2C audiences. So I'm going to go over kind of the setting up the case study, and I'm having some challenges with this thing. Where's the? Okay. So in terms of the background, we're looking at a visionary in terms of the CEO. He has a very, very, very ambitious development plan. We're looking at Houston is booming, and we're looking at building 13 communities in a matter of 18 months. So Gracepoint is located in the Woodlands. They're building communities all around the city and in the Woodlands, of course. And he want to do that in 18 months. So the second thing is we have to deal with multiple audiences. When we started the project, it's not like we had to develop just the homes, but we had to look at finding the properties, finding the investor to fund the project, interacting with the trade to actually find out who would be involved in the whole process, and then there's the marketing aspect, and finding prospects and people that actually are willing to buy those properties. The third element is because of those two first objectives, we need to find to develop a streamlined organization. So I'm not solely talking about marketing here, but basically we worked on the marketing end of it, but also on the operational aspect of the organization. So if we're going to go straight down to the implementation, I'm going to approach this two different ways. First, we have the various challenges. So in terms of workflow, it's a very, very manual process in the home building industry. I mean, when you're looking at building a home, you have to interact with multiple vendors, the trade, and then this process, you have a big project management tools in the back end, and the more community to build, the more people you need to have at the office, and that was not something that you wanted to do. And everybody here, or most of you here, bought a home before. It's also a very manual process, a lot of paperwork, and when you buy a new home, you have to figure out what options you want on your home, and if you're looking a little bit at the Dell concept, kind of a build your computer on demand, we wanted to implement that at the operational level. So I have a home, this is a standard home, I want to add a covered patio, this is going straight back to the trade. So the aspect of no communication between the stakeholders is when you select an option on your home, you need to go straight back to who's going to build it, and you need to basically integrate all the different audiences throughout the process. So that was a big workflow challenges. In terms of marketing objectives, of course, the brand has no awareness or had no awareness. We needed to address these multiple audiences, and integrate marketing efforts with sales. So with cost efficiency is everywhere, definitely. So in terms of the solution, and I'll go through that in a second. If we look, we separate the marketing end with the process automation side of things. On the marketing side of things, we've got two solutions really. We've got the solution that address the prospects and the buyers. I mean, which is the websites and a series of microsites. And in terms of, we're talking about mobile app today. In terms of mobility in general, this is using a responsive design approach, and I'll show you in a second, which is basically a best practice now in any type of website development you're getting involved in. And then there's a very niche audience, which is on the way we build a custom iPad app for. is when you are looking at developing a community, you need to find investors. Investors are coming from different form and fashion. Some are banks, some are private investors, some are different kind of people in the financial world. And then you've got the developers that are going to release the properties, sell the properties to you, and you need to demonstrate to them what you're going to be doing with them and how you're going to optimize that land. For that, so it's a marketing, and it's a B2B audience there. For that, we had this iPad application that's been built and has been pretty successful so far. Then the website and the integration, with the system through marketing automation, back to the same tool set we've used with Lois, and the CRM. So the CRM here is a different CRM, and we don't really get involved in the CRM selection, but they use a local company here in town called Sales Nexus for that. On the process automation side of things, so this we've got two main components here. You've got what we call the builder portal, and that portal is helping with selecting the vendor. So I have multiple, hundreds of potential vendors, from the plumber, the carpenter, anybody in the trade, managing their bid process. And then once you select what they're going to build, how they're going to build it, you need to manage them throughout the process. So if those two elements here are something that's going to be done the standard way in terms of a device, it's going to be done on a computer most likely. The project management aspect is all done on mobile devices, because now you're talking about a superintendent or a manager that's going to be on site and is going to use his phone to actually log the thing real time and report back to the office. So that aspect here is done from some application, completely mobile application. So there's no, it's 100% of the usage. Then we get into the sales. So now you're going to sell the home, and that's aspect here is taking place in the sales office. So if it's a new community, you can imagine it can be a sales trailer of some kind, and you go from the system is helping with selecting where you're going to live, configuring your home, and writing all the way writing the contract. And that's the first, and that's where I wanted Tom to kind of explain, because he gets really agitated, a lot more than me when it comes down to this. So we're talking about two audiences here, B2B audience, B2C audiences. We need to make them communicate to each other. So Gracepoint is in the middle, and again, we need to attract the prospects, create a brand. So we're doing it through websites, responsive design, marketing automation. Then we've got the investor community. That's a B2B community, and they interact through an iPad app, as opposed to an app you can find on the App Store. It's an enterprise distribution. So this is, you select who is going to receive that information. It's in a closed environment, which is for that particular example is the way to go, because you don't want everybody else to see the details of your product, because it gets pretty competitive. Then your trade is interacting with the tool through the builder portal, and then the home buyers in the sales office, interactive plat, and sales portal. So 4 components, and then they all basically interact with each other from one form and fashion. So let's have a quick look here around the marketing, really the website aspect, and how to attract prospects to become leads and clients. Again, responsive design, I'm sure everybody here is aware of it, but basically you customize the experience based on the device you're in. So it's a home, we're talking about home building here, and it's highly graphical. So you have beautiful rendering, beautiful images, and when you're in an HD environment like we're here, you need to be able to optimize that. When you're a tablet, you have a little bit less of real estate. You need to be able to do it, that window has to be sized, and resized automatically down to a phone experience where the navigation is completely changed and adapt and act like an app. So that's, if we're looking at it more like in an animated fashion, you see that it's a highly graphical type product, so it needs a highly graphical type website. And then when it comes down to the different experience based on the device you're using, you see how this is resizing dynamically to a tablet type experience, and tablet has a portrait and a landscape mode down to the phone. So in terms of mobile and websites in general, that's kind of a best practice, and more and more websites are used that way. We just launched a US Steel website last week, and they are actually using that as a way to basically accommodate different experience. Back to analytics and marketing. So the reason that they are very, very attracted to marketing automation is in a standard agency-client relationship. When you come down to marketing, historically, the client is hiring the agency do the work and send a report. And when you can add technology and into the mix, it becomes a partnership, because every campaign that is maintained through an inbound marketing tool or a marketing automation platform is accessed by multiple agencies and the internal department. So everybody is working as a team, and then the day the company decides to cease working with the company A or company B, agency A, agency B, they keep all the intellectual property and the work, and that makes it a lot better. It's a risk for the agency, because you tell them you can do it on your own, but at the end it's a good way to really get a lot stronger relationship and a lot better results. Let's talk a little bit about the investors. So here again, you have a very, very, very limited amount of people that need to access your data. To give you an example, in terms of our architectural drawings and renderings, this is something that we get new renderings on a weekly or monthly basis. We get at least 5 or 6 updates. Christina behind the camera that's involved in the project can tell you all about it. But in terms of experience, user experience here, you're basically showing the product in great details, and here we're going to show you a little bit of a and that's the information the way a banker would look at, and it goes more in details around the specificity of the product and how it fits in a specific property. So again, it's updated almost every 3 weeks, and the data is pushed back automatically. So there's no interaction with the Apple Store at that point. So again, this is a custom solution for a custom audience, and when we kind of mapped out the overall strategy of the organization, that's kind of where we were discussing. Of course, now that we decided on front end and it was going to be an iPad app, there's 10 individuals that wanted to make it a Android app, and we're looking at is it worth it, or what would be the cost involved to do so. So let's talk about the trade for a second, because the trade is where a lot of the back end work is involved. But I'm going to give you 9-10 key things that we can do with that application, and how they can automate the whole process. And there is over 300 individual screens that each have 4 or 5 to 10 options. So it's a fairly large application. So it handles vendor selection, bid management, and project management. So in terms of I'll show you a few screens here. You can bid plans. You can approve vendors and the related item cost. You can approve takeoffs, contract costs. review costs, issue purchase order. It's fascinating. Set the the sales price of each individual house, individual property. You can set lots for community, so it has a lot of graphics involved as well. Set options, set a plat map for a community, and then set lot fit, and then it goes into the project management itself. So I'm not going to go through the whole process because you would fall asleep. But these things with industry standard project management.
Just a sanity check. This is only for internal employees, correct? Or is this for your vendors, or how?
This managed the interaction of the builder, Gracepoint, with every single trade working in any of their homes. So it has several hundred plumbers, carpenters, tile companies, and you name it. So everybody gets interact with the portal in terms of receiving a request for proposal, submitting the bid, and then it goes through the whole project management aspects where I'm done with tiling half the home at this address, and that's where the app comes in play because it's a reporting tool. Then we get into the sales aspect of the presentation, of the audience here. So we're dealing with someone that you've managed to, that is looking for a home, obviously, that have found Gracepoint online most likely as well, and they've decided that they want to check it one step further. So at that point, the first thing that happens when they get into the sales office is they interact with a mobile application that we've animated, but let me see if we... Technical issue, PowerPoint, right tool. Well, there is a imagined person. Hold on, let me see if I can get it back on here. Well, the first part, you're in the sales trailer, and there's a series of mobile devices that are available, and the user can look at where in the community. So now you're in a specific community. They can select a home, and from then they can start looking at different options. And at that point, they kind of pre-configure a little bit what they would like to do, and they get into the salesperson. Now I'm going to be talking to a salesperson and use the sales portal. So at that point, you imagine you're configuring your computer, but now you're configuring your home. So I like kind of this view here on the lake, and there's a series of floor plans that would fit on that lake, and then you can customize your home now. So you say, I want a covered patio, I want a 3 or 4 car garage, and that's where the interaction with the builder makes sense, because you'll know automatically the cost of what it is, and then down the road, the builder knows what the superintendent in charge of that building that home knows exactly what needs to be done. There's no human interaction in between. And then it goes all the way down to actually signing the contract. So the salesperson follows the process, and then the contract is signed, and then you can sign your deposit check that has another name in the it's called earnest money or something like that. So this is the whole process, from finding a community you like, a home you like, down to actually signing the contract. Okay. As a summary, kind of as a final slide, the whole success story around this particular project is the fact that we interacted the B2C market with the B2B market, and found and developed around the way a very dynamic tools to access this information and manage it. So that's kind of the high-level overview of the project here.